He was jumped at a house party for not shaking someone's hand.
I'll never forget the day. It was November 15th, 2013. I had got invited to this house party. And I went to this house party with, the people that I hang with, I ended up getting into an encounter with a guy. So it was like me and two of my guy friends that were with me. And we were standing in the backyard of this house party. A random guy came up to us, and line by line, I'm the third one in line, so to speak, the way that we're standing. And so he comes up to the first guy and he, daps him up and says, I got blase blah on me in terms of like what drugs he wanted to sell. My first friend was like, no, I'm straight. So then he goes to the next friend and say the same thing, the exact same thing, do the exact same thing. And he goes, no, I'm straight. So then he comes to me. And in my mind, I'm like, if we all together and one of us has denied, what you're offering, then all of us are denying it, like we would have spoken up. At least that's what I was thinking in my mind. And so when he put his hand out for me to shake it, I didn't. And so he took that as disrespect, which it is, in the streets, that's disrespect. He took that as disrespect. And so when he backed up or walked away, I never took my eyes off of him, just because I could feel the tension. But I wasn't really thinking nothing of it, I thought that, it was just normal, at least the way that I was looking at it, my perspective. I didn't think that anything would spark off. Well, what ended up happening was the first friend of mine started to walk. And so the second friend of mine took a step back and let me walk in front of him. And I'm so close to these guys while we're walking, because he was heading back into the house, that if my friend stepped on my shoe, the back of my heels, I wouldn't have got upset because I knew it was him. Like, that's how close we were in proximity to each other. And so we're walking, and the guy that came up to us is near the door. So mind you, I'm still looking at him. And when we get closer, I see his lips say, "This the dude right here that didn't dap me up." And as soon as he said that, all I saw was a fist come and hit me in my face. As soon as the fist hit me in my face, I was dazed a little bit for him to hit me a second time. So when he hit me the second time, I just made it up in my mind that I'm gonna fight back. Like, I'm not going to get hit anymore. And I remember hitting him as hard as I could. And as soon as I did that, I just felt punches from all over, all different directions. When that happened, I was down to the ground, and my adrenaline was kicking so bad that even though they were probably punching me and kicking me as hard as they could, it felt like this. Like, it didn't feel that strong. I remember in my mind thinking that if I'm getting jumped, then my friends have jumped in. Or, when I swung, or whatever the case may be. Like, that's the way I'm processing everything. So when the guys had backed up off me, stopped beating on me, I felt like somebody picked me up. I literally felt like somebody was holding my arm and picked me up. But when I looked, there was no one there.
That's messed up that his friends had allowed him to get jumped and didn't even help him, nor did they, try to break it up.
And I started to walk towards the exit of the backyard. So I'm still outside. And as I'm walking, my right eye is just blank. Like, I can't see anything on my right eye. So I'm like, all right, maybe my eye's just swollen. And in this eye, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a cut that's on here. And it was just blood coming down from my face. So when I'm trying to wipe my face, my hands are already bloody and my shirt is bloody. So it's like, I can't really see, but unless something is really up close on me. And as I'm walking out of the gate, this random guy that saw what I just went through just punches me for no reason. He wasn't even in the situation, right? When he punched me, I just heard a voice tell me, don't swing back. Because if you do, the same thing is just going to happen. So I just walked out, and I'm walking out. and I hear like people like laughing and snickering behind me, and I don't know where I am. You know, I didn't drive. Like I rode with somebody there. This is just my part of town. And I'm thinking that, you know, the laughing and snickering, I'm hearing that somebody is about to come and finish what they started. But it was a guy and a girl that were with a group of their friends. The girl had said to me, you know, are you okay? And the first thing that came to my mind was everyone that was with me. I said, where are my people? And the guy, it's just a vivid memory. Like it's like it happened yesterday. Like the guy said out of his mouth, he said, yeah, man, where was your people? And then, no, he called me and I answered the phone. And the first thing he said to me was, what happened? And so immediately I got upset. I'm like, what happened? If that's the first thing you're going to say to me is what happened, then that means you know what happened. Versus, where are you? To make a long story short, I ended up going to the hospital, and I found out at the hospital that I got stabbed 13 times. I got stabbed 2 times in my right eye. I got stabbed 3 times in both my arms combined, and then the rest was all in my head. During that ordeal, I just felt heartbroken because I realized that I went through all of that on my own. When I decided to put my loyalty, my trust, my love into these guys that I was hanging with, because they were giving me that feeling of love that I've longed for. I had an identity with them, you know, from all the things that we had done together. And that one moment broke it up. And so I remember being in bed rest in the hospital. What ended up happening was my eye got punctured. And I learned that your eye is like a tire. If you puncture a tire, eventually air is going to continue to deplete and you got to replace the tire. So that's what happened with me. When my eye got punctured, they not only just stabbed me in my eye, but it reached so far back that it ripped like the cornea. So I'm unable to see out my right eye. So what ended up happening was, because it was deflating over time, they just removed my right eye. So this is the prosthetic eye that I have. I just remember being on bed rest at home. As soon as all of that happened, my reputation and my fame in the street just went from like 100 times more randomly, where I got guys that are older than me that are reaching out to me, asking me, you know, do I want to go kill my best friend? Want me to ride with them to go in and kill him and all these different things. But I was still so loyal in spite of the ordeal that I declined all the offers. I was, you know, then given opportunities to sell marijuana at a larger